Sup? It's Tardis Wiki Roulette. It's that time of the day. Hopefully of every day, maybe one day. You should replace the music with Thick of It by KSI. I don't think I should. I don't think that would be a good choice. Hi, you're here. I am here. I am here. WandaVision, try not to forgive slavery and mind control challenge impossible. Yeah, I tried like WandaVision and I like fell off it after maybe the second episode. I don't know. It just didn't jam with me. It felt like a corporate attempt to replicate an art movie to me. It felt like it was artsy because a committee decided that it should be artsy, rather than needing to fulfill any particular artistic goal in and of itself. And based on what I've heard about how it ends, I don't think that prediction was inaccurate. I'm adding your stuff to the wheel, by the way, Cookie Boy. And I will add all the other stuff to the wheel as well in just a moment. Oh. Okie dokie. Oh, the Sardic Town Chronicle and the Kennedy Curse. I will add both of those to the wheel in due course. Megan S. We've all... What? We've all done slavery from mind control from time to time. Don't pretend you haven't. You know, every now and again, as a treat. People try not to judge the quality of a story by the characters in it. Challenge impossible. I mean, one of my favorite stories is Macbeth, and that's full of absolute shits. One of my favorite TV shows is The Thick of It, and that is also full of absolute shits. Did you know that the Fantastic Four trailer came out? Does it look good?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
No, why would I watch it?
Hope Fantastic Four, I don't know. Big new movie. I know you don't care. I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. I've never listened to The Thick of It by KFSI, and I don't plan on ever changing that fact about myself. The Out of Westview, that was what got me, was like, I wasn't particularly taken with the Out of Westview, with the Westview stuff. I thought it was all very artificial, and then when they cut back to like the real world and suddenly it was just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. basically, I was like, nah, fuck this, I'm out. They'll never know what you sacrificed. It's Fantastic Five, how about Herbie? It's Herbie in it! It's Herbie in the Fantastic Four trailer. He is? Oh, that's fun. I like that. Do they show Herbie before they show the Human Torch? Because that would be really funny if they did. Oh dear Lord, is that the problem? Do people just confuse is for all? What do you mean? What are you talking about there? Yes, he is. He's in it like before Johnny. That's amazing. I fucking love that. Human Torch, more like Human Pet. We have made it 7 minutes into the stream without any mention of Human Pet Guy. Well done. Someone change the sign. Ralph Ineson is voicing Galactus. That's cool. Him and the Thing make a soup. Oh, that sounds delightful. That sounds delightful. Do I need to watch this? Do I need to watch this trailer? Do I need to like queue up another thing? I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. I will explain the premise of the show before we do that though. And you will get to see Alan before we do that. You're not going to get to see Alan spin though, because I'm a cruel master. Oh yeah, okay, it's the teaser one. I'm such a boomer. Okay, time to get copyright claimed by Disney. What did I miss? I'm watching the Fantastic Four trailer and I'm going to work out a way to not be copyright struck. It's going to be great. I am excited about the soup. The soup is the thing I am most hyped for. We're talking about the Fantastic Four and WandaVision. Yes, that is accurate. All right, window capture. Window capture free, we'll call it, because it's not lasting. Okay, yes! And then we're going to shove it right in here, okay? And what we're gonna do really quickly, okay, to ensure that nothing happens. 1 second. To ensure that nothing happens, transparent. I am going to take extraordinary measures to avoid a copyright claim, because you all know what I'm about. 1 second. This is all very important work that's going on right now. Okay, so we're going to put this image of Sonic the Hedgehog over the screen like this so that it can't get copyright claimed. There we go. That is my solution. That's very transformative. Thank you. I think it's super transformative. Can't believe Sonic is the 5th member. I know they're pulling out all the stops for this one. All the stops. Lego might be in the movie. We don't know. I think that we should expect Lego. I think if Lego is not in the movie, we riot. I think right now though, we should watch this trailer, this fine trailer that's been put together by the wonderful people at Marvel, owned by Disney, because everything's owned by Disney now. Okay, that was a very interesting sting of music. This is what we're going to have to do. This is what we're going to have to do now, is go through it, and I'm going to have to press pause every 3 seconds. I do like the look of this room, though. I like the design. I like the design. I like the... It's very Art Deco. It's very 60s. I like the mix of the blues and the warm colours. This is enough for transformative content, right?
Welcome to the Baxter Building. We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday 7 on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Why does this feel like an A24 horror movie? Why does this feel like Vivarium or some shit? It's got like a Stepford Wives vibe to it. Weird echo? Yeah, you're gonna have that. I'm sorry. Hang on, I might be able to fix that real quick. Hold on. We're going to fast forward past this part. There should be no weird echo now. Okay. Oh, I love the design work on the Baxter Building. It's very pretty. Both versions of the Stepford Wives are good films. That is true. That is true, but I'm not sure if if that's the right vibe for a Fantastic Four movie. However, I am an internet content creator, and thus I have to come at everything with a sense of skepticism and negativity. It's in the job description.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
I'm not gonna lie, I love how the Thing looks exactly like the Jack Kirby illustrations. That is phenomenal work, and I can't even like make fun of it. It's incredible. Let's get a good look at Herbie. Hold on. Oh, we're not gonna get one yet. Oh, is that practical? Is that like practical effects and stuff on Herbie with like the little knobs and whistles going up and down and shit? That's cool. That's cool. The Thing is Jack Kirby's Rock Soda. Very possibly. Very possibly. He looks like an Alex Ross painting. All of this looks like an Alex Ross painting.
Good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic.
Ooh.
Because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little...
I love the use of color in this. Just little simple stuff. Like, where is it? Alright, little simple stuff. Like Herbie's bright orange apron, all the different little bits of orange and like reddish orange that you can see in there, so that all of it is designed to make the Fantastic Four's outfits pop as much as humanly possible. It's really nice, and it's got this really warm color grading on top of all of it. It looks really good.
I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip.
I like this a lot. The apron covered by Sonic, you mean? Yes, the apron covered by Sonic.
The first time, you couldn't turn invisible.
Okay, now we get to the bit where they have to explain who the Fantastic Four is to people who don't know who the Fantastic Four are. Who designs creative? Hello, greetings. We're just doing a trailer reaction right now.
Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means. And Johnny.
I fucking love the look of the thing. It's wonderful. I don't know. It's great. I like Johnny's 60s hair as well. It's great. He looks like a man from the 60s who has seen Steve McQueen movies and really thinks they can pull off that look, which is very Johnny, I have to say.
He never caught fire.
Ben has
It's
always
nice.
been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here.
Yeah, this looks cool, and I really like the tone of it as well. Ben looks so good, I actually cried when I first saw him. No cap. Well, fair enough, really. Ryan, you should add a dancing Jesus gif over the video for copyright. Yeah, Cap probably doesn't appear in the film. I won't deny I'm disappointed about that.
Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
Why sudden John Malkovich? Sue's force field's actually bending the light around it is so awesome. Let me see that. Let me see that. Hold on. That's so cool. That's such a nice little detail. I love that. Again, I feel that Pedro Pascal is getting to where Cumberbatch was about a decade ago. Good actor, just too prevalent. Nah, Pedro Pascal is a much better actor than Benedict Cumberbatch. I agree with you about everything but him being, but Benedict Cumberbatch being a good actor. Fight me. Where are we? Okay, we're here.
As a family.
Dominic Toretto is going to be happy about that one. Is there a little bit at the end? Are we going to get a little bit at the end? Discord crapped itself. Benadryl cucumber patch? I'll tell you what, watching a Benedict Cumberbatch performance is a little bit like taking a Benadryl. I will give you that. I will definitely give you that. So yeah, that was the trailer for the Fantastic Four, Foist Steps. I think Sonic enjoyed it very much. I thought it was good. I thought it was good. Ryan, do you know what the movie's deal is, or do you not want to get spoiled? Well, I'm guessing that it takes place in a different universe to the main Marvel universe because of the retro-futuristic vibes. I'm gonna guess that right out of the way. Just tell me. I can react to that as well. Discord is glitching on my end too. I'll look it up. 1 second. I'm looking up Down Detector right now. Yeah, it looks like there's a spike in outages going on right at this second. So, yeah, now we know. Do you know how it connects to Doomsday? I don't know. Tell me how it connects to Doomsday. Tell me stuff. It's okay. It's really disappointed me that Cumberbatch's non-binary character in Zoolander 2 is treated as a weirdo for being non-binary. I didn't know that. That's disappointing. I didn't see Zoolander 2. That's very disappointing, though. But yeah, I've never been that fussed about Benedict Cumberbatch as an actor. I do think he seems like a very nice man. He seems like a very nice man. Bye, Sonic. We'll just keep Sonic there. He's still there. He still exists. For when we need to react to trailers and stuff. We'll keep Sonic there. The first part of my joke was very cut off there and made that very sketchy. Oh no. Musk is taking out Discord as well, enemy of the state. Whoops, I'm sorry. Do we all have to cancel Najawin now? I mean, I know it was an honest mistake and that it just cut the first part of his joke out. I'll read the joke so that everyone knows. The joke was Musk is taking out Discord as well, enemies of the state. There we go. Spin the Allen. Yeah, we should probably spin the Allen in them. Anyway, oh no, that's just Sonic. Why is it just Sonic? Hold on. Something has gone terribly amiss here. In the wild and wet world of Tardis Wiki Roulette. Okay, I think we're good now. Let's see. Aha! Perfect. Also, Benedict Cumberbatch recently apologized for Zoolander 2. What a good egg. Good on him. Sonic the Hedgehog. Have we lost what is going on? What is going on today? You can't scroll up. I still have all the messages. Weird. Y'all hear about Neil Gaiman and Amanda Palmer getting sued? No. What's this about? Let's take a look. And delay the wheel spin even more. Oh, yeah, no, we're not going to talk about that. That's very unpleasant. The IP lawyer I recommend people watch the stream of is the one suing them. Fuck Neil Gaiman, he can rot in hell. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Absolutely. My God. And it's really horrible to know that Amanda Palmer was like in on that as well. That's really disappointing. I used to be a big Dresden Dolls fan. So, that's very saddening. The one also suing Musk over firing Twitter employees without compensation. Damn! Thankfully, we always talk about pleasant things here. I think that one might have crossed the line of being too unpleasant to talk about in depth on Tardis Wiki Roulette, to be honest. I feel like we found the line today. We should probably spin the wheel now, though. Wait, no! My headphones are still in. It fucked the whole thing. That's the real sin, is that the... Shada! Alright, we have to look up Shada now. How big is this article going to be? That's what I want to know. I'm a little bit scared. Okay. Shada. Yeah, Naja win. We don't need to talk about the complaint in detail right now. I'm sure it's horrific. But we really don't need to. Remember, we can only make fun of Jimmy Savile because he's dead. Yeah, you can make as many jokes about Jimmy Savile because he's dead, for one thing. Well, not because he's dead, actually. You can make fun. You could have made fun of him if he was alive, but mainly because like it's not covered under the too soon clause. Like this just happened today with Neil Gaiman. I don't know what the rules are. I was saying that to recommend not talking about it. Well, I didn't know that, did I? So, F. Who up Jimmying they Savile right now? I know a guy who looks like Uncle Jim. I know a guy who looks like Uncle Jim as well. Fuck's sake. I was so pissed off that the prison in Revolution of the Daleks wasn't Shada. Clip that! Clip what? I mean, I will. You know I will. It looks nearly identical. It was clickbait by Chibnall. It does look almost exactly the same. You are right. Chibbait. Hang on, let me get a picture of the prison real quick on another window, and then we'll take a look at them side by side. Prison Revolution of the Daleks. Do they have? They only have pictures of the inside. Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. This looks very much like Shada. They're both. Let me see if I can get this on screen. 1 second. 1 second. This is gonna look so terrible. Look at that. There we go. You can see the OBS and everything. All right. So, really quickly. Yeah, no, this looks, oh shit. Oh no! We lost it forever. Fuck. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, I think these two look basically identical. They're both prisons carved out of asteroids. It's clearly designed to make you think, ah, that's Shada. I don't know. I don't know. Public execution. I don't think that that's quite the penalty required. Doctor Who cutting. It's not them cutting corners. It's more them literally clickbaiting the audience by making something that's meant to look like a famous thing and then going, ha, it actually wasn't famous thing at all. It's a little bit like, yeah, Jadoon ass chat, 100%. That was what I was about to point out. It was a little bit like the first episode of the third season of Doctor Who when they were advertising that, the way that they framed the Jadoon and the way that they framed them in the shots of the episodes, it really implies that they're meant to be the Sontarans. It heavily suggests that you're getting the Sontarans. And then they bait and switch you. And I am old enough to remember when people were mad that the Jadoon were not the Sontarans and were just some new original alien race. So the fact that now they're probably one of the most famous things about New Who, next to like the Weeping Angels, is really funny. That was based, honestly. Given that the Jadoon were hunting the Doctor for the Time Lords, it would have made sense to send her to Shada. The Jadoon should be the Ogrons. They should just bring... No, they should bring back the Ogrons. They're totally different, because the Jadoon are meant to be like space cops, and so you use them to comment on police brutality and stuff. You use Ogrons to comment on private military contractors. Like, you make the Ogrons like Blackwater. That's how you do that. The Ogron... I use them in... I use the Ogrons in... The Magnificent Brothers Slevane and The Crown of Lies, where they were incompetent minions to a pair of Slevane brothers. I love how sympathetic they are. I do too. That's what I went with. I went with making them like ineffective goofs, and then they all get horribly killed by the Master to show how dangerous the Master is. Oh, the big difference between cops and private mercenaries, yes. Well, I mean, yeah, because you don't want to muddy the waters too much. Like, there's a lot of commentary you can do on the Jadoons as, like, a police force. There's not as much commentary, really, you can do on the Jadoons as mercenaries if they have legitimacy, like, bestowed upon them. I don't know. I feel like you have two different races to do those things. Also, the Jadoon are explicitly cops for hire, no? I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I'm not sure about that one. Just go with it? No. Remember when they jailed the Pating after saying a Pating couldn't be contained? Remember when they hyped up the Pating or how dangerous it was, and then Yaz just threw a fucking jacket on it and that was enough to stop it? Jadoon versus Judge Dredd. Who would win? Dredd. Absolutely Dredd would win every time. Absolutely. Because I tell you what the difference is between Jadoon and Judge Dredd, and this is why Judge Dredd will win every time. It's a matter of conviction, okay? The Jadoon don't actually care about the laws they enforce, they just care about enforcing them. Judge Dredd cares about the laws he enforces and enforces them. He fully swallows all that horrible shit, and he will still enforce it. Judge Doon Dredd, now that would be a dangerous combination. Why the Pating was the center of marketing, I have no bloody idea. Meme bait, because they were trying to get those those Rocket Raccoon bucks. The mighty Pating, right? In that one promo campaign, he was part of the Doctor Who Fortnite maps. Okay, but no one cares about Roblox. No, that's not true. Millions of little kids play Roblox. You just don't care about Roblox. Those are two very different things. The Pating reference in Revolution was funny. It was funny, but it wasn't meant to be funny. It was meant to be awe-inspiring, which is why it's funny. Ryan Sinclair is Sigma, maybe, because he can't ride a bike. I thought it was weird that, like, he didn't know how to ride a bike, but he knew how to use an alien sniper rifle. And expertly, I would add. Millions of kids and a few hundred adults who play unironically but are self-aware enough to know everyone else in the server is at least a quarter of their age. Call of Duty, mate! I dehumanize those that play Roblox over Minecraft. Sorry, I get that, but you've got to understand that just because you have that personal, like, character flaw does not mean that nobody cares about Roblox. I don't give a flying fuck about Roblox. I oppose it because I know it's like a form of child labor, but I do know that it's very popular, and I acknowledge that. Priorities, Ryan? Flaw? Yes. Yes, I think not being able to see outside your own perspective is a flaw. I would want to get a good computer just so I could play Java Minecraft for all the mods and stuff. Oh, I know there's mods. They were trying to introduce me to Minecraft by getting me to play the hardest Minecraft mod. I don't think it would have been a very good introduction to Minecraft. Let's read the page. I play the official Sonic game on it. That's about it. Sharda was the prison planet of the Time Lords, locked in a bubble outside the universe for would-be conquerors of the universe. According to some accounts, it was a literal prison planet. According to other accounts, it was just a planetoid or asteroid, although even then it was sometimes referred to as a planet. The prison was both locked in a bubble outside the universe and time-locked. It was contained by a quantum wall, and its surface was patrolled by robot guardians. All of the spiral politic could be seen moving from its history from a viewing area in the prison. The prisoners of Sharda were stored away in their own separate cryogenic cell, alive but frozen in time, in perpetual imprisonment. Prisoners had dragon tattoos which snapped upon their release. Is that the explanation for the third Doctor, John Pertwee, having a tattoo? Is that them, like, fan wanking an explanation for that? Because that's what it sounds like. How come TV Doctor Who's never done a prison break? Why do you think? It is a little bit awesome. I didn't say it was hard. I didn't say what was hard. CL Craft is streaming bait. I don't know which one is which. I don't know. I don't think that's the one they were talking about though. Can I tell you what my first idea for a prison for a Sharda episode would be. Like my first thought, and it would be awesome, and I guarantee Big Finish will do this at some point. But you heard it here first, okay? I think they should do an episode where there's a mass breakout at Sharda, but everything ultimately resolves itself and it's fine because it's a bunch of would-be conquerors of the universe and none of them will accept any of them being in charge of a potential prison break, and so the riot dissolves itself. That would be my my idea for a Sharda-based Doctor Who episode. Get at me, Nick. You know you want this. During the War in Heaven, when the Great Houses began using their prison planet more often, war criminals began to fit themselves with ice-proof secondary nervous systems to help them in case they were sent there. Recognizing this made it too easy to break out of cryogenics, the Great Houses started directly linking prisoners' nervous systems into self-repeating time frames through the convict tattoos on their upper right arms. The prison stored a backup history of the homeworld as a safety feature should the Great Houses be destroyed or erased from time. The prison also had access to the Great Houses records library. Despite its foreboding nature, Sharda also contained a gift shop with commemorative t-shirts could be purchased by anyone who, against all odds, managed to leave. The Doctor owned one such t-shirt. Oh, the War in Heaven took long enough. Nicholas, maybe a mini-zone. Do it! Do it! The third Doctor should have done drag in every episode like Bugs Bunny. Yeah, it should have like had the Master running after him like Elmer Fudd. It would have been great. Classic television. Sharda was created in the days of Rassilon. The key to Sharda, a decoy book known as The Worshipful and Ancient Lore of Gallifrey, was considered one of the artifacts of Rassilon. Sharda also was used by the early Time Lords to imprison dangerous members of other species. For example, 5 million cricket men were stored in their own dimension on Sharda after the Cricket War. In a later era, while visiting Sharda, the Doctor also saw Sontarans, an Ice Lord, and a Krog amongst the inmates, as well as Zaphod Beeblebrox, and at least 2 versions of Arthur Dent and numerous Daleks. More like Asselon. Rassilon, the most retconned character in Doctor Who. Remember when Rassilon was a good guy? Remember that? Remember that? The 10th Doctor probably loves Sharda with its little shop. Well, you know the 10th Doctor loves imprisoning people forever. So, yeah, he would love Sharda. Remember when Rassilon was a dead guy? Yeah, those were the good old days. Meh, he was always a Time Lord. That makes him ontologically a bad guy, whether or not the real writers realise. We know. We know. Rassilon was never that good a guy, to be honest. Yeah, but he was always framed as a good guy. I mean, he was always kind of dodgy. It's in the 5 Doctors where we learn that he may have been a tyrant. Yeah, and that's 20 years after the show started. That's season 20. Most shows don't even reach season 20 because they're weak. I absolutely loathe how Rassilon has been retconned over and over to become even more terrible. Yeah, they've absolutely warped that aspect of him. Hang on, ontologically evil Time Lord, how so? Explain, Aristide, at length. The Time Lords also imprisoned many of their own number who devolved into dangerous megalomaniacs in Sharda. The heretic was either killed by the Time Lords or imprisoned on Sharda after plotting to regenerate the universe. While searching for Salyaven, Skagra assessed the records of war criminal Runga and mass murderer Sabjatrick, who were also prisoners in perpetuity. According to one account, Lady Scintilla was imprisoned in Sharda for conspiring with Carrionites. Prose, Sharda. Among the last of this category during the Prison Planet original span of use was Grandfather Paradox, who was sent to the Prison Planet shortly after the Renegade Presidency affair as part of a generalized crackdown on interventionalists and subversive elements. The Master was also imprisoned there until the Wardens intentionally allowed him to escape so that he could keep the Third Doctor busy during his exile on Earth, as per the Celestial Intervention Agency's plans. Wait! Does that mean that the majority of the Third Doctor era is a proxy war, like a spy proxy war, between Gallifrey's establishment and the Celestial Intervention Agency? Or were the people who were helping the Third Doctor out aware of what was going on? Were they also part of the CIA, or the agency, as they're not referred to in the biz? What's going on there? Can someone explain this to me? I'm going to sit here silent until someone explains this to me. Well, the idea in the story is that the CIA would monitor and freeze Exile, yeah, and sent the Master to test him. To see if he'd join him or fight him. Okay. Iconic scene. One of the greatest moments of TardisWiki Wiki Roulette happened just now. Hope you're all aware of that. Alright. Let's carry on. At some point, Sally Avon, a Time Lord with unusually powerful abilities of telepathic control, was condemned to be prisoned on Sharda. Although he was remembered by the likes of the Fourth Doctor as having been a genuine renegade in his day, with the nom de guerre of the Great Mind Outlaw, wow, that's a shitty name, some accounts suggested he was innocent, having only used his powers for a few harmless pranks. And was sentenced to imprisonment in Sharda, either because he had been framed by his own student, the Master, for an attempted breach of the Panopticon. Did Douglas Adams write this? No! The Doctor and the Master should have just kissed and made up. I agree. If only Free flirted back. Free did flirt back. What are you talking about? Hot off the Great Mind Outlaw. Or simply because some high-ranking Time Lords were afraid of... There's a lot of spelling errors in this. Were afraid of what he might imaginably do with his abilities, despite his obvious disinterest in pursuing political power. At any rate, Sally Avon could prove to be the last new inmate at Sharda for a long time, escaping his captors as he was being transferred to the prison. He used his powers to craft a new identity, the innocuous Professor Chronotis, for himself and erase all memory of Sharda's existence from Gallifrey, so that his absence from his cell would never be noticed. I love that he called himself Professor Chronotis. It's like calling yourself Mr. I am not a Time Lord Honest. After discovering Gallifreyan records on his home planet of Drawnin, which have once again been under the control of a renegade Time Lord presidency, the Draminian scientist Skagra sought Sharda out with the intention of freeing Salyaven and using his sphere to extract Salyaven's mental powers for his own use, stealing the worshipful and ancient lore of Gallifrey from Professor Chronotis without realizing he and Salyaven were one and the same. Skagra forced the Fourth Doctor and Romana too to use the Doctor's TARDIS and the book to take him to Sharda. There he broke out a number of prisoners using the spheres to control their minds, but was ultimately defeated. The Fourth Doctor later borrowed the worshipful and ancient lore of Gallifrey from Chronotis again and returned to destroy the cricket men imprisoned there, but a few other already escaped cricket men let them out instead. Well, this is certainly a fascinating read. Missy is a girl kisser. I thought we knew that. Hello, fellow Earthmen. My name is Mr. Earth. Missy/Clara is canon. That's good. With Romana ultimately becoming president of the High Council herself, the Time Lord leadership once more knew about Sharda. For example, at a point prior to W time, they sent the Gentleman to their prison after he proved too hard to control. Is the Gentleman also just the Doctor or the Master? However, Romana's knowledge of Sharda also had unexpected results when, due to an epileptic fit brought on by the coming of the Carnival Queen, President Romana ordered 300 of Sharda's most dangerous prisoners, including Grandfather Paradox, set free. He then promptly cut his arm off, thus freeing himself of the prison tattoo by which he might have been tracked out again, and announced the transition of House Paradox into the more recognizable modern form of Faction Paradox. Oh shit! So that's like their origin story. It's all Romana's fault. No, the Gentleman is an evil clone of Chris Shui. What even was the 90s, man? What is it? Always has been. Earth, terrible name for a planet. Might as well call it Dirt. Planet Dirt. I know. The 90s was 30 years ago. I know. I was a child during the 90s. I would know this. Also, the page doesn't acknowledge that one book that said temporal stuff was likely responsible for the events of Sharda happening at least 4 times with 2 doctors. Oh. It's all Romana's fault 50% of Time Lord history since the 7th Doctor's era. Why did she do it, though? Why did she let 300 prisoners escape? Like, what? Did the epileptic fit drive her insane? Like, how? How does one event lead to another? That's what I don't understand. How do you go from I had an epileptic fit, a medical episode, to I'm going to free 300 of the most dangerous prisoners? For fun? For the bit? The other 50% is Rassilon being the worst. She was feeling a bit crazy then. Did it for the Vine. A social experiment. It's just a prank, bro. Maybe she was busy watching Bob's Burgers. That makes the most sense of all, I think. She might have like flailed around and pressed the open all doors in section B button. Jesus. She was just feeling herself that day. I am always 2 steps ahead. Yeah, it was Romana like, if I release these prisoners, then I can take credit for recapturing these prisoners. And then they'll call me the hero of Sharda. Is that what was going through her head? They didn't call her the party president for nothing. The Doctor needed something to do that day. Fucking hell. Oh dear. Romana is the Elon Musk of Gallifrey. Oh dear. Okay. Although Grandfather Paradox... Oh wait, no, we're not done. She tripped and fell on the release button. If I release these prisoners 200 years from now, it's really going to pay off. God forbid women do anything. It's a shame because I loved her in the Classist series. If that was a typo, that was the best typo ever. Oh god, okay. Classic, damn it, it's okay. Misogynist writing making her act illogical so the Doctor has something to clean up. That's probably it. On the subject of Romana, I figured out that Mrs. Flood is Romana by evidence she's going after 15 for saying all Time Lords had titles. Keep reading. classist and they get mad at me. Don't make me start. Don't make me start. You said some very silly things yesterday. Post-time war incursions, the 11th Doctor visited Shada in search of the Master's first TARDIS, imprisoned there after the last Great Time War, thinking the Master had framed him for the downfall of the Overcast. Is that another renegade Time Lord? No. What? You skipped a section? Oh, is it during the war? Is it that one? Although Grandfather Paradox erased himself from history shortly after his escape, with the faction Paradox acting in the war without his direct leadership, attempts were made to force the Grandfather to finish his sentence all the same. After the Grandfather's shadow was bonded to cousin Justine, she was tried by the ruling houses in place of the Grandfather and sent to the prison planet. However, she was ultimately rescued, began his search for Grandfather Paradox's arm in the prison. Oh, Devoneer began his search for Grandfather Paradox's arm in the prison. After this quest sent him mad until he started to believe that he was himself the Grandfather, the houses decided to imprison him in the prison planet in perpetuity on the off chance that he was correct. That was good. This isn't a Stargate from Stargate, by the way. Is it a Stargate from Margate? Did you fall off the back of a lorry? All I know about Stargate is it apparently has some ancient alien shit. Yes, in Stargate, all of the ancient human gods were like aliens, like grey aliens. Yeah, that's what Stargate's about. Amadeus Arkham, Time Lord. When reading the faction Paradox, one needs to have had a few pints, gets one in the spirit for it. Gross? Yeah, it is a little bit gross. Oh, I said it's suboptimal that DLC and loot boxes are how video games are making money now, and it would be better if video game prices increase because it takes more to pay. That's not the part. The part that I meant was where you tried to argue that CEOs and executives were more valuable to making video games than the programmers and the coders. And then you defended them getting the wages that they currently do. That was the part I took issue with. You objected to that? Okay. There was a lot of ancient aliens. It gets a pass as it is enjoyable. There is a lot, though. I said monetarily valuable. Not morally valuable? Well, yeah. Well, have we got any more to read on Shada? We've been on this one for quite a bit. Look at that space potato. Douglas Adams originally came up with the idea of a Time Lord prison. I'll do all of it. I'll do all of it. Let's not set off Nasha again. See, what you should say there, Najawin, is, yeah, fat stacks, big money. That's the way that I would respect it. Ancient Aliens is odd, although I think Doctor Who retconning Sutek into a... Ancient Aliens is odd, although I think Doctor Who retconning Sutek into having appropriated his mantle and imagery was a good idea. Yes, that was a good idea. I like that a lot. It's funny because the other one is the demons, and the demons is weirdly okay because it's only white people myths. All of this is wildly uncontroversial, just like Tardis Wiki Roulette. Ryan, what would you do if you were imprisoned in Shada? I'd probably break out. I don't know. Be my first thought. Can you still drop the soap in Shada? God damn it. We made it this far without a drop the soap joke. Here we are. Thank you for uncorking the bottle on that particular one. Who designs? Oh, the Beast Below, man. I want to rewatch that story. Is Diddy in Shada? They should be. I think the Sutek thing was a self-contradictory mess. Either make him a real magical god or make him an alien who culturally appropriated Egyptian imagery. What do you mean he's the real god of death, but he stole the Egyptian stuff? Russell, make up your mind. Also, he's only the god... Isn't he only the god of death because he was, like, draining energy from the TARDIS or something? How did he even become a god in the first place? Like, none of that makes sense. Like if you would drop the soap in Shard. Do not drop the soap in Sharda. Don't do it. Do like the stream, though. It's complicated. No, explain it. Explain it. It's good for content. Because then I'll repackage this into a video called Everything You Wanted to Know About Sharda. And that will technically be true. Because I'll have read through the whole wiki page. I mean, the time vortex is canonically magical in RTD2, I guess. Something evolved in the time vortex while he was catnapping for 1,000 years. That's lame. Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantically. The pating. That feels like something that the 13th Doctor would text Yaz and then immediately delete. Literally how Bad Wolf worked, right? Yeah, pretty much. Donna waking him up with coffee is lame. I agree. I agree. Also, suffers no consequences for that. In fact, gets rewarded by the story for doing it. Devoneer began his search for Grandfather Paradox's arm in the prison. I already read that bit. Okay, we're in post-Time War excursions. The 11th Doctor visited Sharda in search of the Master's first TARDIS, imprisoned there after the last Great Tim War, thinking the Master had framed him for the downfall of the Overcast. The Doctor, alongside Alice Oberthune, Absalom Dack, and the Squire, visited Storm Cage Containment Facility to retrieve River Song, whom the Doctor believed could help enter Sharda and find the TARDIS, because that's dumb. It's really dumb. It's really, really stupid. Why would River Song know, but the Doctor wouldn't? That's so stupid. Find another reason to put her on the team. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm revolting. I'm revolting at that. The Doctor and the others entered by crashing the then and now into the quantum wall. Like, literally, all you need is, I'm working with criminals. I'm not used to this. I need someone who knows how they think. I need you, dear, to keep me dishonest. That's all you need. That's all the justification you need to bring fucking River along. You don't need there to be like, oh, you're the only one who can fucking fight this. Literally, just making her like, look, I don't know how to deal with these people, but you do. You know what I mean? Or also in character for the 11th Doctor, and way more fun, just have him be like, I thought it would be a fun date idea. That's literally all you need. You don't need fan wank. God damn it. I hate when people forget that characters like the Doctor and the Master and whatever, right? People forget that they're fucking people. The Doctor is a person. The Doctor is going to react to certain things like a person would. And I don't want to hear, oh, he's an alien. No. 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 The 4th Doctor acts like a person. And he's the most alien one. Anyway, ran over, but it's still going in the video. You always need fan wank. No, you don't. No, you don't. The 11th Doctor visited Sharda in search of the Master's first TARDIS, thinking the Master... Oh, I already read that. I already read that. After obtaining a Stargate, he left him for himself, which led the path to Sharda. The Doctor and the others entered by crashing the then and now onto the quantum wall containing the prison. Although the Doctor forced himself to forget the planet's name so he would not be tempted to return, upon arriving there, he remembered it. Now Sutek's new goodly abilities were still based in his mental powers, so that's how Ruby's mother became magical. Sutek believed himself to be a god, and thus he became one, is the long and short of it. The thing is, like... Hang on, I need to collect my thoughts on this. Okay, so the idea of magic is that it's people's belief in the gods that makes these gods powerful. So Sutek believing that Ruby's mother is special wouldn't make Ruby special, because Sutek is a god and thus is not able to do that. Now, if Sutek had a cult that believed that Ruby's mother was special, then that would make Ruby's mother special. Yes, it's bollocks, but it doesn't. It doesn't work, because, like, you can't just be like, oh, the show has magic now, so that means it has no rules. Because magic has fucking rules, man. Very true, we all believe in Maestro. But that's the thing, though, is, like, people's belief in the power of music is what gives Maestro their power in the first place. Who can forget the people crying out for Maestro? So how come the Doctor isn't a god? The Doctor is a god. They just refuse the responsibility of being a god. But the Doctor isn't a god because they were ordained by destiny to be a god. The Doctor is a god because of their actions and because they've done so many good deeds throughout the universe. There's a right, and like the Doctor, as a consequence of being a hero in time of space for tens of thousands of years, if not billions of years, yes, they're going to be a divine being of some kind. The question isn't whether or not you do that, because you now have to do that. It's just how it works. It's just how the universe works now, okay? You have to do that. So the question is, how do you approach it, and all the different ways that people have approached it. Stephen Moffat took the idea of deconstructing the Doctor's reputation and what the idea of the Doctor even was. That was good. Russell seems to just use it as an excuse to make his protagonist super powerful and able to do anything, and that's a lot less interesting. This is some Grant Morrison shit. Yeah, I know it is some Grant Morrison shit. Yeah, you need to check out my stuff if you like this, because it's all about this shit, Bruce Simmons. Watch the Answer Doctor series, you'll fucking love it. Maestro does serve cunt though, that is the most important thing here. Yeah, it is, I don't know, it's weird. I feel like the idea of Sutek needing humans to make himself a god and being dependent on those humans is really interesting though. Would have been a lot better. I don't know though. It just kind of seems like Russell saw the idea of the practice of magic and was like, oh, now I have an excuse to just do whatever the fuck I want and not care about the rules associated with sci-fi. When, as anyone who knows anything about fantasy knows, fantasy only works when you have a rule book that the characters are following. The Mara, for instance, has people believing in it, not just beasts. Yes, the Mara is actually a really, really good example of the correct way to do this kind of thing. Maestro has no believers. Exactly. Now, you could still argue that Maestro would draw power from people believing in and imbuing in the transformative power of music, and they're tapping into that. You could kind of wibble through that, but the Sutek one doesn't make a lick of sense. Maestro has no believers, so there's a contradiction in rules there. I just explained that. But even that doesn't work. But that's the thing I'm saying, Najawin, is that the whole framework, like RTD's entire sub-creation, his entire mythopoeia that he's created around this pantheon of Discord, does not make sense fundamentally with how gods are supposed to work. I honestly, this is how I engage with Doctor Who discourse now. Everyone else is talking about the huge ramifications of the changes in the show. Meanwhile, I'm like, Ruby's jacket looks really cute. Honestly based. I don't know. Yes, no, it depends on belief in an individual over the belief in a concept. Now, your explanation is, well, you could argue that a completely different set of rules applies. Well, no, I'm saying that it doesn't fit into the established rules of, like, how these kinds of magic systems that he's drawing influences from works. But no, you can't. If I did, then these set of rules that would apply. Okay, then what are the rules of the magic system in the current series of Doctor Who? What are its limitations? What can and can't you do? How does it work? How does Sutek draw magical power that makes him a god? How does Maestro do that? There isn't any, and that's the problem. That's why I'm saying it's shit, and the system they should have used is better, and would be better if they had stuck to it. Where, and you know what? They literally do have this system that I'm talking about in classic Doctor Who. Curse of Fenric is literally based around that. Like, belief in Curse of Fenric is the power that the characters are, like, using. Because RTD wrote it, yeah. I did read somewhat about how to write magic systems. RTD, this is the thing as well, if RTD understood that you need a magic system, he could try. I'm just saying that these two don't work together. None of it works together. I do wish it'd be more science fantasy rather than pure set fantasy now, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I like fantasy elements in Doctor Who. I like when Doctor Who has a lot of fantasy elements, but you need, like, the right fantasy elements. I know that RTD didn't write the thing about the magic system. It's okay. I just wanted to say RTD would fail it. He would. He would. But he still should have tried. And I guarantee that if he tried, then even though we would still have had a bad magic system, it would be a better magic system. But yeah, I do think if Doctor Who is going to use magic unabashedly, it needs to have a magic system. And having a belief-based magic system would be the closest thing to fitting with what's already existed. And it would also reconcile with what we've seen in Classic Who. Remember, we've literally seen Russell use the beliefs-based magic system in his own work in Last of the Time Lords and The Sound of Drums. Yeah, I was going to say, he kind of did this in RTD1. Like, he does understand these things, clearly. Because people do understand these things on, like, I think people understand these things on a visceral level. I think you kind of understand this whether you know about it or not. It's kind of like the hero's journey and how stories like cycle around each other. Like, you inherently respond to that structure positively or negatively. Whether you know what it is or not, you like recognize it. And you recognize when it's not being adhered to properly. If Doctor Who has magic now, can we get Merlin in an episode preferably played by a certain very special actor? Douglas Adams came up with the idea of a Time Lord prison as a location to store the Cricket Men in his draft for his story, The Cricket Men. When that script was rejected, he reused the idea for Sharda. James Goss noted this in the appendix to the novelization, where he used Sharda for the same purpose in the story. In the unaired serial, Sharda was originally going to hold a Dalek, a Cyberman, and a Zygon, but the scenes set in Sharda's interior were never recorded. The completed TV serial had the recognizable shadows of some aliens in the cells, including an Ice Warrior and a Zygon. The webcast illustration of Sharda's interior contains several Daleks, as well as Arthur Dent and Zaphod Beeblebrox from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, as a nod to Douglas Adams. Speaking on this subject, Morphic Field. Let's go! Also, people want the Rani. Why does nobody want tracks? Because, I can explain that. Give me a second. Did we spin a single page in an hour? Yes. We have spun one page today. We have gained like 6 or 7 pages for the wheel, though. So, it's a net win. We should probably spin again, though. You know who really should come back? Candyman. Everyone thinks they love the Candyman. I love the Candyman dearly, but everyone thinks they do.
Yeah, baby.
The Alan agrees. Kilroy. Also, hello Jam Jam. Hope you're doing good. I remember because he balanced being funny with being creepy quite nicely. Yes, I like the Candyman a lot. What I like about the Candyman is a perfect, he is a perfect representation of Hitler's perverts, basically. Candyman is a perfect representation of the idea that an authoritarian government will employ really, really sick and degenerate individuals to handle, like, the nastier jobs of being in government. He's wonderful. The Candyman probably... No, the Candyman definitely doesn't taste good. The Candyman tastes like sweat and asshole. I'm guaranteeing it. Thoughts on the Happiness Patrol? Masterful. I love the Happiness Patrol. Oh, like big balls? Yes. I love the Happiness Patrol. The Happiness Patrol is a magnificent story. I don't really have any notes, to be honest. It's great. He's made of candy. I would eat him. So you're saying he tastes good? I guess. Hello, old Tardis Wiki Roulette overlay. Made another cameo there. I'm sad Dolly Mix isn't vegetarian. It's not. The Happiness Patrol without the hap. Ha ha ha. What you did there. I see it. What did we land on, by the way? Kilroy. Okay. I can't believe we've done one spin in an hour. It looks so nice. It is pretty nice. I like Dolly Mix. Dolly Mix is good. Are you ready to read the article? I am. Oh no! Yay! I fix. Okay. By the way, make sure to catch me on Twitch in a couple of hours. I'm playing Age of Empires tonight. We're doing a colonialism for the laughs. While a human companion to the Sixth Doctor was attempting to stop an attempted assassination of the Duke of Wellington in 1815, orchestrated by the Time Lord the Warlord, they came across a man wearing a Union Jack uniform in the Brussels forest. The man told them they had 3 chances to guess his name, otherwise he would shoot them. The companion indicated that his name was Kilroy, which was correct. Kilroy told the human that he wanted to assist them in defeating the Warlord. Kilroy gave the human a sonic lance recharge module, then walked into the night, seeming to disappear. What? Kilroy is perhaps one of the most perplexing aspects of the 1958 text game Doctor Who and the Warlord. Kilroy can only be found by following a very specific chain of directional inputs in the final arc. From Brussels Road, west, north, north, east, northwest, northeast, northwest, north, north. It is not currently understood how the player was meant to know the correct name, although it can be stated that the character is obviously a reference to the Kilroy was here meme. After Kilroy drops the Lance recharge module, he walks from the protagonist. The in-game text reads, "For a moment you think you can see right through him, but then he is gone." The implication added to the knowledge of the Warlord seems to indicate that Kilroy is not simply a random human. However, this is not expanded upon. In spite of the utter absurdity and obscurity of the character, speaking to him and getting his name correct are essential to beating the title. I feel like the Candyman coming back on some variant of his kind of character would be nice, like some equivalent would be nice. I think it would be fitting to Villain Guard if they have a bigger role in the future. Where'd this come from, Dash? Actually, the Romans weren't capitalists, so it's just imperialism, not colonial. Max the Speaker. The depths of his mind. A deep pit of self-loathing that I know that. Kilroy is Mrs. Flood. I think that's the best explanation.
Yeah, baby.
Takeshi's challenge vibes. God damn it. Okay. I think Villain Guard having some kind of Candyman-esque fixer would be interesting. Someone to handle the dirty business they don't want to be connected with. You know, honestly, you know who I'd like to see in that role? The Master. I want to see a story where the Master has a boss. Has someone they have to, like, report to. And, like, file performance reviews to. You can make it Syl. You could have Syl be in charge of Villengard, but for the role of like the fixer, I like the idea of something like the Master. I think that would be fun. My favorite spin-off? Oh god. What, the Rani? Imagine the Master having to file performance reviews to the Rani. Dr. Ware was an old pal of Dr. Doctor who stayed in the Star Shed while the Doctor was on holiday. When Dr. Doctor went on holiday, he rented out the Star Shed on Space B&B, with Dr. Ware renting it out in this time. The Doctor had told Ware the patients and AIEIO would have everything prepared for Ware to have a wonderful and relaxing week in the Star Shed. Patients, on the advice of AIEIO, attempted to put together oh, I think I hopped off for a second there. Okay, we're skipping this one. Fuck this. Ryan, you sound excited.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, we're spinning again. Oh god. Well, I'll be off. Good night, everyone, and I'm sorry I've made a fool of myself. You haven't made a fool of yourself. You've been lovely, Bob. You've definitely not made a fool of yourself. Goodbye, Bob. We did this one. Oh yeah, we did do this one. I guess we're spinning again.
Yeah, baby.
We've done this one before as well. Ryan, do you think RTD could bring back Syl? I think it's possible. I think it's very possible that RTD will bring back Syl, yes.
Yeah, baby.
Fuck it, I'm game. Let's take a look. Do you think RTD could bring back Syl? I think it'd be too close to the Davros problem for him. Maybe. I don't think Syl's disabled though, is he? I think he's just supposed to be a worm man. I'm not so sure. Oh, I see. RTD is too woke for it. Do you think it's possible RTD will bring back Perry in her bird form from Trial of a Time Lord as the new god of beasts, retconning the Mara and CGI bird form Perry into Kinder and Snake Charles? Woke RTD ruining Doctor Who. I mean, he's played by an actor with dwarfism. I don't think the solution is just to never, ever, ever bring back any actors who have dwarfism. I've noticed that there's been a real push to like erase dwarf characters from like fiction. There have been a lot of articles for Doctor Who games I've created and or seen others created. This page hasn't been updated. Carco Queen make a video calling out RTD for being woke. No, I'm concerned about how RTD would think. Could you imagine if RTD was in charge of Star Wars and was like, we can't have R2D2 in Star Wars anymore? Because R2D2 was played by a dwarf actor, and we have to respect and create opportunities for dwarf actors by erasing every single role that a dwarf can play in any media. hey, catch the new season of Game of Thrones where Tyrion Lannister will be played by The Rock. I have no problem with the Davros thing. I think that's awesome. I mean, I never even thought about the Davros thing until after Russell T Davies made a point of it. To be honest. Maybe that's on me though. Martha DEI. Jesus. Yeah, I don't really have any particular strong feelings one way or the other. I do think it's weird that they made a point of making the TARDIS ramp wheelchair accessible, because I always assumed it was. I always assumed the TARDIS, like, being accessible for a wheelchair person for a person in a wheelchair, sorry, would just be there. I don't know. To be fair, it's a trope disabled villain. That is true. I think it's important. It has been something I've heard of from my disabled friends. Well, if a wheelchair person, I know that was a horrible slip of the tongue from me, and I apologize. I did a stupid. I think it's important. It's something I've heard from my disabled friends. If it's something that's important, then it's something that's important. A wheelchair person cancelled. Yeah, that's it. This is the final episode of Tardis Wiki Roulette chat clip. 4 people on Twitter are going to be very angry. No one talks about me on Twitter. I like the inclusion of the ramp, but it is ridiculous that it took this long. It is ridiculous that it's taken this long. I agree. Considering the last Davros episode had the Doctor take his chair and leave him writhing around on the floor. That is true. And also, that's something they've kind of done since the inception of Davros as a character, thinking about it. Like, the Doctor has always used the fact that they are abled and Davros isn't to take advantage of Davros in episodes. Like, he's always used that as an advantage. That's a really good point that I hadn't reflected on. You've caught up with the 21st century was cringe though. Absolutely it was cringe. And I do not get them patting themselves on the back for doing something that they should have done years ago. I mean, there was also the issue with the goblins as the... What was the issue with the goblins as the villains? I didn't see any issue with the goblins as the villains. The Doctor taking Davros's chair implies that he also tore out all the life support tech because Capaldi is a tall guy. His legs would not fit in there with all that life support. It's a good point. I feel like having an able-bodied Davros is something that can only improve his character. Yeah, I always thought it was interesting that Davros never tried to give himself a new body. Like, is there a character reason why he never, like, attempted that? Did you see my comment, Ryan? Even putting aside disabled people, the Doctor would have had to use a ramp for the TARDIS console during his exile, or, you know, K9. That's also a very, very good point. Yes. I don't see the issue with the goblins as the villains, though. It's not like they're Harry Potter goblins. People said that the goblins were anti-Semitic despite them literally designing them not to be. See, the interesting thing about the Harry Potter anti-Semitic goblins is that a lot of the things that make the Harry Potter goblins anti-Semitic are tropes exclusive to Harry Potter. Like, they're things that J.K. Rowling come up with. Like, D&D goblins aren't like that. Goblins have traditionally been associated with Jews, which isn't enough to be... Is that true? It's enough to be an issue, but kidnapping babies feeds into blood libel stereotypes and impaling on a church. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's quite bad. Yes, it is. I think you're probably right. I don't know. Good old J.K. Gareth Roberts. Yeah, mythological goblins don't share much with JK stuff. I'm talking more about like the pop culture perception of goblins, which is basically orcs but smaller. I don't know. I do think that we should probably spin the wheel again soon, though. It's not mythological, but like 18th century. I like Janice. I like Janice as well. I like the goblins in Church on Ruby Road. I think they did a good job with them. I think they did a very good job with them. But yeah, I didn't know about the 18th century blood libel thing. It's pretty bad. My perception of goblins is Willem Dafoe. There's a poem called The Goblin Merchant, which is where the association starts to take place. The Goblin King in Ruby Road reminds me of Glenna. The goblins are like if the pating got shredded. That's funny. Alright, we needed to look at the list of Doctor Who games. Hang on. There isn't one. There isn't one. Okay. I like how they use camera effects to make them look small as well. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Because in real life, all of the actors who played the goblins were actually 7 feet tall. Fun fact.
Yeah, baby.
Plastic purges. A Teletubbies moment. Did Glinna play the Goblin King? I don't think Glinna played the Goblin King. I think they were the inspiration. Okay, this one looks pretty interesting. Surprised Kate Stewart didn't recruit all the goblins under the impression they were children. I just think it was slightly sketchy and needed to take a little more care, especially how it fed into things post October 7th when they couldn't have known about it in advance, of course, but it wasn't intentional. To be honest, Narjawin, I think this is one of these rare moments where you've convinced me. I think you're right. They probably should have been more careful. The church thing in particular was pretty bad. To be honest. Yeah. That was the thing that struck me a little bit. Just needed a sensitivity consult. Russell T Davies doesn't need sensitivity consultation. You have to understand he's very clever. In the Unbound universe, Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart remembered the 20th century Auton invasion of Earth successfully foiled by the Third Doctor in another universe. As the Plastic Purges, a notable disaster he had to survive through without the Doctor. Unit, led by the Brigadier, attempted to stop the Nesting Consciousness's plan to take over the Earth using Autons disguised as shop dummies, which they distributed using the company Autoplastics, at least in the Third Doctor's universe. He later took the Unbound Doctor to task for not being there when they needed him, such as during the Plastic Purges. The Doctor had been redirected to the wrong time and place, landing instead in 1997 Hong Kong. In a later incident known as the fake flower fiasco in the Daily Mail, Lethbridge Stewart suspected a second plastic invasion was underway when he found flowers. In the Third Doctor's universe, this was indeed the second Auton invasion of Earth, led by the Master. Yeah, I think we did this. We didn't. I don't know if we did this one, but we definitely have talked about the Plastic Purges before. Definitely. Alright, I think we're going to do one more, and then we're going to head off for the night.
Yeah, baby.
Kate Lethbridge Stewart. 50 squillion. Let's take a look at 50 squillion here on Tardis Wiki Roulette. $50 squillion was the year the 11th Doctor and Alice Oberfune decided to visit to obtain a Weeping Angel from the Weeping Angel Museum. Well, that's a fun fact to end it on, isn't it? Does it have to do with Squilliam? No. Maybe you weren't here. What do you mean, maybe I wasn't here? Oh, God. Sorry, who the fuck decided a Weeping Angel Museum was a good idea? A mad person. Okay. I am done for now. I will be back on Wild Magic playing Age of Empires 3 tonight, so make sure to check me out there. In the meantime, do the algorithm shit. I don't know, like and subscribe. And I will see all of you Thursday. On Thursday. Both of my parents missed my birth. Moment. See you soon. See you soon then. Have a good one. Make sure everyone have a good one. And I will miss you all terribly. But that's the way life works. Bye!